Took the long road home tonight, through towns that time forgot, where every sign still whispered all the chances that I lost. I passed the church we used to sit in, the one with the crooked bell, and the diner where I told you I had nothing left to tell. I was younger, loud and broken, thought the road could wash me clean, but all it did was echo what you already seen. But I heard through a friend of yours, you still leave the porch light on, like you're waiting for a storm to pass or a fool too proud to call. And the porch light's still on after all these years and miles. You still keep a chair wide open, like forgiveness wears your smile. I've been gone too long, done too much, but I swear I've changed. I'm not who I was. That light's for me, I won't be gone, porch light's still on. I kept your letters in my glove box, folded like a prayer. I'd read them when the nights got loud, just to feel you still were there. The photos faded, but your words stayed bright like Sunday rain. You said when you're ready, come on home. I'll leave the porch light just the same. And I never thought I'd see this town without shame behind my eyes, but somehow all the wrong I've done feels small beneath your skies. And the porch light's still on through the wind and every trial. You still keep a chair wide open, like Grace been waiting all the while. I ain't perfect, I ain't fixed, but I'm standing here with all I've missed. If love's a place where I belong, then thank God the porch light's still on.
Sometimes home ain't just a house, it's someone who forgives you first.
So I'm walking up the front steps with the sunrise breaking strong, and I'm coming home for real this time. Thank God the porch light's still on.
Night still smells like her perfume and ash from a cigarette. We dance like strangers holding history in a room we won't forget. She poured her soul in paper cups, said this ain't love, it's time on loan. But every word she never said still echoes through my bones. I watched her button up her silence as the sunrise kissed her face. She wore goodbye like lipstick and left without a trace. I asked if I could see her when the sun was high and clear. She said some things are better when the morning isn't near. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they bloom beneath motel moons. They hold you like a promise, but they vanish with the tune. We were real when clocks were broken and shadows held us tight. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, only born to live by night. Talked about forever like it was just a place to pass. Shared names like faded tattoos on a window made of glass. She traced the outline of my hand like she was reading Braille of fate, then pulled away so slowly like goodbye arrived too late. She said, don't try to find me in the day you think you knew, not made for afternoon or anything too true. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they disappear in dawn's regret, like steam across a windshield from the words we never said. We were fire inside a whisper, we were thunder dressed in white. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they only live beneath the night. So I light one more for memory and I hum our borrowed song. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, but they linger all life long.
Porch light never flickered, even when I disappeared. She'd leave the door unlocked at night, like faith lived without fear.
I missed 100 birthdays, showed up soaked in cheap excuse. Still she held my hand like treasure, like her love was bulletproof.
I told her not to count on me, that I just let her down.
She smiled like she'd heard that line in every song in town. And I don't know what kept her when the storms were loud and long, but somehow she stood steady like a lighthouse hums a song. She waited through the weather when I was raining rust through all my torn up pages. She never lost her trust. She could have walked to brighter skies, but stayed through every tether. I never asked for that kind of love, but she waited through the weather.
I came home with nothing left but regret and worn out boots. She said love don't count the miles, it only measures roots.
She cooked my favorite supper like no years had passed at all. And when I cried into my coffee, she just smiled and let it fall.
She said you don't need redemption, just someone who believes. I never needed perfect, just a place for you to breathe.
She waited through the weather while I chased a dying flame. And when the winds would scatter me, she never changed her name. I gave her every reason to leave the past untethered, but she rode home, and every every storm. She waited through the weather.
I asked her once why she stayed. She said, because you're mine.
She waited through the weather, not for who I said I'd be, but for the man she always saw inside the wreck of me. Now I fold her kindness nightly,
Like a prayer wrapped in a feather, and thank the sky I wasn't lost.
she waited through the weather.
You never said goodbye, not really. Just a note with half a name, and a postcard from Sedona, with no return, no blame. She left her keys on the table next to mine and a broken watch. Said time don't wait on cowards, and I was late by just that much. I found a matchbook from Nevada, folded neatly in my coat, and a lipstick trace on paper that said don't call, just let me float. She was always 10 steps ahead, in boots I never chased, and I wore my silence proudly, like a love I couldn't face. She only wrote me Arizona, never said the word goodbye, just a fading desert skyline and her name beneath the sky. I tried to read between the cactus and the words she left behind, but the only thing she told me was she was done being mine. I still keep that postcard folded in the pocket of my pride. Every woman since has asked me why I leave love outside. I say it's 'cause I met a thunder that looked like common grace. She burned like dusk in silence and vanished without a trace. I could have followed west that night, but I stayed and cursed the floor. And now I sip on her goodbye like a man who wanted more. She only wrote me Arizona, no return, no sweet explain, just a sky in rust and crimson, and her tears in desert rain. I tried to frame it like a story, but the plot just slipped through time, and the only thing she told me was she was done being mine. goodbyes. So she never gave me one. Now I drive through town she'd love, with her postcard in my coat, still wondering if Arizona was the last thing that she wrote. He sat alone at Jackson's bar, midnight sharp, same corner booth. Nursing one shot like a sermon, whispered low in honest truth. The barkeep said he don't say much, but he's seen the world go gray. Used to ride with fire in his hands till the fire walked away. He wore a coat too big for summer and boots too soft for war. Carried silence like a weapon, but never walked out that door. Some say he lost a brother, some say he took a life, but no one dared to ask him why his hand still shook at night. He's the man who sat at midnight where the jukebox wouldn't play, in the town that knew too little and looked the other way. He lit a match for every secret and let the silence burn it right. But he never told his story, the man who sat at midnight. One night a stranger walked in slow, with eyes like a debt unpaid. He said, "You took what mattered most, now it's time your dues get laid." The bar fell into silence like a church with bated breath, and that old man just sipped his whiskey like he'd been waiting death. He said, "Son, I don't deny it, but you don't know all I did, and vengeance won't restore her if you can't forgive the kid." He's the man who sat at midnight with 1,000 ghosts in line, carved his sins in broken windows, left his soul beneath the pine. And he stared down every sorrow like a judge with no respite. But he never told his story, the man who sat at midnight. Some truths are built like coffins, some are born to stay inside. Now the booth stays dark and empty, but the seat is still worn thin. Folks say when it hits midnight, you can almost see him grin. He paid the cost in silence with his back turned to the light, and he took it all with him, the man who sat at midnight.
Never played again. After he was gone, There's a letter in my glove box that I never meant to send, and a photo in my wallet of a love I couldn't mend. Wasn't cruel, just careless with the way I held your name, like a gambler holds his last chip, thinking luck don't ever change. You packed your life in silence, not a single slam or tear, just the sound of someone knowing they won't be remembered here. And I watched you from the window as you disappeared in dusk. I thought pride would keep me steady, but pride don't bleed like trust. I took the long way losing you. Every mile just proved it true. I tried to turn around too late, but the road kept fading blue. I thought time would do the healing, but it just drew out the view. No shortcuts through regret, my love. I took the long way losing you. I stayed in towns we passed through, tried to live inside the past, made friends with all my ghosts, and drank from empty glass. I held your laugh in headphones like a hymn I never wrote, played it back till it was hollow, like a promise choked by hope. Some men learn by losing, some just circle what they lost. And I drew maps of maybe, but I never paid the cost. I took the long way losing you, with every silence as my cue. I rehearsed 1,000 sorries that you never asked me to. I thought one day you'd be waiting in some town with lighter shoes, but dreams don't park at broken hearts. I took the long way losing you. I didn't mean to choose this ending, but I chose it just the same. Shadows, but I drive it just for truth, and every mile still whispers, I took the long way losing you.
There's a coffee ring on her last letter and a photo turning gray. I read them both 100 times, still don't know what not to say. I told my boy to chase his dreams, but never said how far. He called last week from Michigan, and I just stared at stars. I never said I missed my dad till I saw him in my hands. Never said I feared the silence till the noise was all I had. We all think we'll find the moment to say what weighs the soul, but life don't wait on timing, and the truth ain't always told. These are the things I meant to say when I had more time than fear. Like I'm proud of you and I'm sorry, and I'm glad you made it here. But the clock just kept on ticking, and I thought words could delay. Now all I've got is echoes of the things I meant to say. I never told her she was right when she begged me not to roam. Now the house still smells like flowers, but it don't feel like home. I kept my kindness in a drawer with the watch I never wore, and now both are ticking louder than they ever did before. The days grow short and golden, and I breathe a little slow. Wish I'd said it while they listen. Wish I let the silence go. These are the things I meant to say, not in eulogies or prayers, but across the kitchen table with a breath and two good chairs. Now I fold them in a letter, and I hope they find their way to the hearts I left wide open with the things I meant to say. I should have said it sooner, but I guess I say it now. So if you hear me in the static of a song you hum today, know I meant it when I whispered all the things I meant to say. I saw her in a photograph, taped behind a diner seat, smiling like she owned the world and never knew defeat. She used to work the corner booth, pouring coffee, dreams, and cream. I was young and chasing thunder, too proud to ever dream. She'd sing along to Springsteen with a voice too soft to stay, and I'd pretend I didn't notice while my chance slipped away. She called me cowboy once or twice, though I never had the boots, just a heart afraid of quiet and a suitcase full of truth. Back then I didn't know her name, just her laugh and how she moved. I thought love was for the settled, not for boys who still had grooves. Now the jukebox plays reminders of the time I can't reclaim. She gave me light in passing, but I never knew her name. Left that job in '83, said the town was far too still. I heard she made it out to Denver, married some man on a hill. I stayed behind with habits like the chair she always used, and wondered if she ever thought of the boy who never moved. I tried to write a letter, but I never had her last. So I fold it in a whisper and sing it to the past. Back then I didn't know her name, just the hum of her goodbye. I was too in love with leaving to let her even try. Now my hands are full of nothing, But this old cafe in flame, she walked through like an angel, and I never knew her name. Now the corner booth feels colder, though the sun still hits the same. I still sip the cup she poured me back when I didn't know her name.
I found his coat behind the closet, smelled like wind and kerosene, a little torn around the collar like the stories in between. He wore it to my baseball games and to Mama's second wedding. He never said too many words, but his silence did the telling. We never saw eye to eye, more like mirror to regret. But I still wore that coat one night just to see what he felt. He was thunder in the hallway, he was whiskey on the chair. He was gone before I noticed he was ever really there. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He left before the cancer came, but I read his Bible notes. He marked a page on prodigal and folded prayers and quotes. I found a picture in the pocket of me at age 13, grinning like I knew the world and didn't fear a thing. And we were men made out of silence, built from lessons never said. But that coat was like a letter I forgot I hadn't read. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He never said goodbye, but he left me this to try. So I hang it by the doorway, let it catch the morning smoke. And when I miss the man I knew, I wear my father's coat.
I wrote a letter in a diner somewhere west of Abilene, on a napkin stained with coffee and a fingerprint of dreams. You were gone 5 years by then, but your ghost still hitched a ride in every jukebox song and silence that I kept locked up inside. I never meant to leave that way, didn't think you'd close the door. I was young and full of thunder, now I'm old and keeping score. And every time I tried to mail it, something held me back again,
like maybe pain's more honest when it's only held in pen. This is the letter I never sent, folded tight in consequence, full of words I couldn't say. On the night I walked away, you deserved a better man than the ghost I always meant. So I wrote you down in silence in the letter I never sent. I watched your daughter dancing in a video online. She's got you laugh your way with light and not a trace of mine. I guess you built a better world than I ever thought you could, and I don't blame you for forgetting. I just hoped you never would. And I keep that napkin folded like a relic from the war, between the man I should have been and the one who asked for more. This is the letter I never sent, just ink and cheap lament, but every line still burns like truth, every stain's a piece of youth. If you ever find it drifting like a prayer on accident, just know I loved you quiet in the letter I never sent. And maybe love is realer when it's written, not delivered. So here's to all the might have beens, to mercy, time, and rent, and to you, my never lover, from the letter I never sent.